Well, it's about that time again. You know, I like to start up a conversation to get to the bottom of things, the answers, solutions. And today's topic is a theoretical cure to diabetes. Diabetes. Again, you can't really expect these mega corporations to stop their money with the treatment. I know some of them probably listen to this and like, yeah, duh. So, I'm not the type to complain and comply. To be real honest, I'm still a little bit salty about that COVID stunt they pulled. You can believe whatever you want to believe. I'm going to believe what I want to believe. They did that. And so for these soulless corporations, I mean, it'd be a shame if someone were to cure it, theoretically at least. Let's get into it. Lottoriddles intel. We ain't telling on them. They didn't think I knew that, did they? We ain't telling on them. So, theorizing here, because I'm no doctor, if sugar is toxic and sugar is bacteria, then maybe an overload of it is a bacterial infection. Lot of riddles intel. This is Mace. And welcome to Morgan's Organics. So I recently started up a restaurant, and it's been a hit with the people. And people want to know, like, what's our secret? And it's like, we don't really got a secret to what we do. It's a family business. It's just in our DNA. What can I say? It's a taste of our own. So, and we can't take all of the credit. It could be from where it's sourced. So yeah, come just test it out and see what you think about Morgan's Organics. And one thing I can tell you for certain is these aren't all of the ingredients. They want to act like they don't know where all of these dead bodies are ending up missing to. Yeah, right. Human meat comes cheap. That's an easy harvest. And if you did the ancestry on your hamburger, a lot of times it'll come from China. They harvest a lot. People. That's easy money. You can really profit off that. Almost everything we eat nowadays is bacteria, right? Especially your meats. And then they turn around and overcharge you for it. It's even hard to eat now. It's one of the most powerful forms of biological and chemical warfare. Give me a second while I put this beef on the grill, get them to cooking. I like opening up in this game and get all my patties done. If you put humans and like beef in a grinder. They come out looking like identical in a lot of cases. We have to touch on this because cannibalism is part of the contributing factor of diabetes, but not limited to. So a bacterial infection, that's my conclusion. How do you get rid of a bacterial infection? That's an antibiotic. My theories or whatever, I would recommend penicillin G. G as in goat. Penicillin G. I mean, if I had this sickness, I would say penicillin G. I would go, well, you can go 5 to 10 units a day. I would stay more on the lower end, like 5 million units, and you would divide it up into every hour. So every hour you take a portion and you make sure you get at least that 5 in. It varies between, size, age, and severity. So you would, rely on your doctor to let them. Doctors aren't bad for the most part. They're just taught to do what they do. So leave it to their best judgment. But that should kill it in like 2 weeks. It shouldn't even be that long. Yeah, we're coming out of the times of, there's no cure. We can treat it. It's old now. We got to cut that out. Lastly, because it's just that quick, is you want to eat a lot of sea moss. That is very key. Sea moss gonna do the revitalization. It's gonna get them real nutrients you need in your body. You gotta get on that sea moss. And of course, you're probably already drinking a bunch of water. You drink a bunch of water and you limit sugar. That bacteria, that goes without saying. But now it's toxic bacteria. And they overcharging you for it. We know it's not just sweets. That's why I made this video the way I did. It's your meats. It's a lot of your food that you're overcharged for. You screwed so many ways. Okay, let's run through this again. Penicillin G. 5 to 10 million. I recommend 5. 5 million units divvied up within the day, every hour, not 4 to 6. I did not say 4 to 6. I said every hour. And what I would do is I would down some sea moss. I do that anyway. I love sea moss. People act like it tastes worse than it do. Hey, that's their opinion. It's healthy. It's going to help you right here. And you want to drink a lot of water. Give yourself a good 2 weeks. Hopefully you'll be smiling again. You probably can tell I was having fun with this video. Something optional you can take, and I take this anyway, is parasite cleanse capsules. Flush your system, get all them parasites out. That's optional. You shouldn't need it, but whatever works. And I know some people, they can't go cold turkey with things. My thing is just you need to practice consuming in moderation. A lot of people, they overindulge, and one of their kryptonites is convenience. A lot of people have heard about human DNA, human flesh in the meat. But it's easier to ignore it and just stop by for the convenience and get that burger. It is what it is. But if you want to heal, if you want to stop getting sick, if you want to stop dying, diabetes patients, a lot of them are amputees, they losing limbs. We want to stop that. Somewhere along the line, there's got to be some discipline. Fruit, sugar, that may be the best alternative, but I would recommend a farmer's market because they got everything GMO. And a lot of these big corporations swear, oh, there's no difference. The difference is very, very small with using high fructose corn syrup. They don't want lawsuits. That's all that is. They don't want lawsuits. All of this genetically modifies. Why they gotta modify it then? You see what I'm saying? But yeah, that's a better alternative. Go to a farmer's market and get some fruit. And get yourself right. Get yourself healthy. And let's end these corporations. But I'm here now, so all of that stuff ends. Let me let you in on one of my secrets. Penicillin G is like one of them miracle drugs. If you understand like the right dosage and the right intervals. Because you'll start realizing a lot of these diseases and the sicknesses they're created from bacteria. There's so many things. I just was hearing about a new flesh-eating bacteria. Look, a lot of them bacteria is penicillin G, especially theoretically. It wipes it. Like, it'll clean house with it. So, another thing, stop thinking, your children can handle sugar. All you're doing is you're killing them quicker. You literally, just because they're not showing symptoms early, don't mean their body isn't being destroyed. They're gonna pay for that later, when if you didn't, buy so much sugar for them, you'll see their life extended. You have a person diabetes in their 30s, they had a lot of sugar as a kid. That's where it starts, And you got to stop thinking that diabetes run in your family. Let's cut that out. A lot of people have lower tolerance for bacteria, especially bacteria being constantly banged in their system. And or some people, their families, just eat too much of it. They consume and consume and consume. The amount of people I've seen downplay the amount of sugar they consume, and then they over exaggerate the amount of water they consume when they just be wetting their tongue most of the time. Look, when it comes to your health status is gonna tell the truth. You ain't gotta tell me nothing. I can look at your body and tell. Oh, the diabetes, it can cause nerve damage, tingling and pain, and it can make you lose feeling in your feet, and it can damage the nerves and injure the walls in your tiny blood vessels. Just call it bacteria. Bacteria is injuring your tiny blood vessels. I'm so over the lies, man. It's obvious at this point. Now this is the perfect time. I gotta plug in my disease X theory. Disease X is the hypothetical pathogenic disease that doesn't exist, that they're racing to find a vaccine for. And I do believe it's the zombie plague, and this is where they're gonna hit. They're gonna hit these meats. They're gonna hit these snacks. They're gonna hit this food hard. The foods you are especially addicted to, and meat runs the country, especially America. Meat runs that place. They gonna hit it. They gonna creep it in there. I have zero trust in them. So check out my Disease X videos. I urge you to do so. Keep an open mind about it, and just keep an eye out for how things play out in the world. Actions speak louder than words. So, ladies and gentlemen, the time of corporations pretending they don't have a cure is probably going to continue. And then I'll hopefully have a theoretical cure. What a time to be alive. Alright, so here's a recap. Penicillin G plus CMOS. I want to stick with 5 million units per day every hour. Every hour on the hour, you go higher depending on, again, it varies between age, weight, and severity. So trust your doctor on that. And the duration is approximately 2 weeks. Drink plenty of water. And of course, you want to limit or stop sugar the best you can. And so, to be honest with you, I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm about to go in here and get in this ice cream. Mind your business. It is what it is. Do as I say and not as I do. Come back and see me.